All right, guys, we're here at our state-of-the-art facility in Chelsea, Maine, the Ice Shack, going over some more RVH tips. In one of our previous videos, we talked about the 3 steps to get back to your post. Look, tuck and untuck. Look, tuck and untuck into the post. If you haven't watched that video, guys, link is down in the description. Now what we're gonna go over, guys, is stick position. And a lot of times what I see with young goalies that are learning the RVH, I see a lot of mistakes with the stick position, which end up costing a goal or making it harder to move out of the RVH. So let's gain our RVH here, toe bring to the post. Remember, like we talked about, knee is inside the inside edge, not out here, not straight with the post, all right? We wanna be able to have mobility to cut across, but on the glove side here, guys, the biggest mistake I see is goalies putting their stick like this. Goalies putting their stick like this, guys, is going to cause it, make it very difficult to come across the crease. For instance, if I got a shooter coming at me from this side and my stick is right here blocking my pad, usually this rebound is going to hit the stick and fly into the slot. One of the things that we want to understand about the RVH is when we're in the RVH, we would like that rebound that hits us low to ideally pop right back into this area, right back into the shooter's feet, right back below the goal line. The worst place it can go is up into the slot, where now we're having to make, a 1T save, come across our paint for a really tough, difficult save to make. Versus right here, we send it right back to the shooter, we're still in good position. In order to do that, we've got to make sure the stick is not getting in the way. If my pad is already down against the ice and the puck hits my pad, it's not going to the net. We don't need the double coverage of our stick blade. What we want to try and do here, going into the RVH on our glove side, is get that stick blade into a blocking pass position. Turn the stick blade over, bring it towards the goal line. Now we're blocking the pass should the shooter decide to pass it, and if the shooter decides to come in and step, we can extend, force him wide, which gives our defenseman time to step in and play the body. If I keep my stick in this area and the shooter does cut in tight, I'm in a really poor position to make a poke check. I'm not blocking anything this way. Very easy for the shooter to get past me and step high. The other thing that this does, by turning my stick blade this way, the other thing it does is it forces my back shoulder back. So that when I do need to react to a quick pass to the slot or a shooter driving, my reaction looks like this. I'm back behind my body, or I'm up here and I'm coming lateral to the puck, which is not going to be a good thing if the puck is being passed to this area. By turning our stick blade over, like so, we are actually putting our blocker in a great position to come across on a pass out. So from here, I miss the block pass, I come here, boom, right off the blocker, big save, my shoulder's in front of me, I can also slide across and still be in front of my body. If I do this, guy steps in, I try to come across, that's an extra movement, but also, look where my blocker is. Back behind my body, back behind my chest, back behind my ribcage. Whereas if I'm here, blocker's in front of me, boom, right off of my body. So make sure when we're dropping, and we're learning that RVH, we're dropping into it on the glove side, guys. Stick blade, turn it over, block that pass, now you can come out and you can move. The one other thing I want to mention on this glove side here, guys, is when we have the stick in the correct position and the shooter does decide to drive the net, never reach past the edge of this crease. If you have the USA Hockey creases, it's easy to see. Never pass this point in the crease. If you don't have the USA Hockey white area, a good rule of thumb is nothing past the length of your paddle. So if the shooter were to be right here, that would be a really silly thing for me to try and poke check, because now my body is coming outside of the post, I'm losing my balance, losing my weight, and if I miss this guy, he will score every single time. So all we're trying to do, guys, is throw the shooter off, keep yourself in this area. At the very most, what you're going to be, at the very least, what you're going to be able to do is force the shooter wide, which gives your defenseman time to step in and play the body. So that's what we would do on our glove side. Let me show you the blocker side, another difficult area while we're learning the RVH. On the blocker side, guys, a very common misconception for my netliners that are learning this is they go straight to paddle and blocker down. Well, just like we talked about on the glove side, my pad is already here. I'm already covering the ice. I'm already sealing the ice. There's no reason for me to also have double coverage with my paddle and with my blocker. The other thing that this does to me, let's take a look. If I'm here versus here, now my paddle's on the ice, my chest comes down, my head comes down. Now I'm not the tallest guy. I'm 5'11" off of skates, so on skates, maybe I'm lucky if I'm 6'1". And as soon as I do this, everything can open up upstairs. I also bring my weight forward now, so now I'm outside of the post. Again, the shooter steps, very hard for me to make that save. So get rid of that double coverage on our blocker side, and instead, right here, I transition to that RVH. I'm in this area, I'm tall, I can take away space. Instead of leaning back like this, I can lean forward and take the angle away. Now, if the shooter does decide to step into this side, it's a very easy transition for me to drop, plant, sweep. Drop, plant, sweep. Right back to ready position. It's not gonna be a drop and sweep and hold it out here, because again, my weight is gonna be way too far forward, but it's a drop, attack, and right back to my position so that I can shift across if I need to. So on the blocker side here, guys, make sure that we're hovering that blocker right above our pad, covering this hole. We're waiting, we're being aggressive when he gets close, when we need to be, and we can transition from this very easily up and out, or if we're required to slide, it's a very easy glove leads, blocker follows, transition out to the middle of the crease. So just a couple tips there with the stick positioning in that RVH, guys. Be very aware, be very careful about falling into this bad habit with the stick weight against your pad. It's going to force that shot into the slot every single time. And if he scores from right there because it went off your stick, that is a bad goal. That cannot happen. Over on this side, same thing. Don't make yourself smaller than you are. Stay tall and stay big. As I said in our first video about RVH tips, guys, number one, make sure we're not just sitting and waiting in the RVH. Use it as a reaction save, use it as a recovery save if you slide back in your post, but don't just be sitting there and waiting. That's where we're gonna get scored on. You see guys in the NHL that are 6'4", 6'5", and they're getting scored on by sitting and waiting in the RVH. So what's gonna happen to us when we're not quite that tall? All right? So keep that in mind, guys. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next video.